Okay, welcome back. Our next presentation is from a company called Druid. It's delivering critical enterprise applications with 5G and 4G. We've done some interesting projects together, and what I'd like to do is to hand over to Ken from Druid, and he can start the session off. So, Ken, over to you.
Thanks, Jonathan. Delighted to be here today at the Convergence Summit 2020, albeit a little bit different than previous years, but it's great to be here anyway. I said, my name's Ken Hatton. I work for Druid Software. We're an Irish-based company that we've actually developed our own core cellular technology platform for both mission-critical and business-critical communications. Unfortunately, I've had a few technical issues in Druid here this morning. So I'm going to hand you over to Dave, who's going to run a pre-recorded video, and then I'll come back to you at the Q&A session. So I hope it all goes well. Cheers. Thanks. Over to you, Dave.
Welcome to this webinar on delivering critical enterprise applications with 5G and 4G private networks. As businesses struggle to transform their processes to drive efficiencies and make them more secure and resilient since the pandemic, we are going to explore three capabilities that company networks must have to meet the demands for today's real-time data requirements and cybersecurity threats. We will look at security and how privacy and the ability to isolate the data traffic from the public internet protects valuable corporate and public data assets. We'll look at connectivity, the need to be flexible enough to address specific vertical markets with the ability to scale globally. We will look at enterprise slicing and how high capacity, high speed, and low latency data are delivered with private cellular networks in the UK to meet the needs of business and mission critical use cases. And we will look at enterprise slicing and how high capacity, high speed, and low latency data are delivered with private cellular networks in the UK to meet the needs of businesses and mission critical use cases. First, who are Druid Software? We are an industry-leading provider of enterprise private cellular network platforms. We are in this business for almost 20 years and have been deployed in key sectors shown here, like industry, education, public safety, healthcare, aerospace, and hospitality. We deliver our solutions through partners like Tadhg Technologies for business end users in enterprise communications, enterprise computing, IoT, and public safety. Our software platform is called Ramus, which is derived from the term radio emissary, and our platforms are fully compliant with GSMA and 3GPP standards. Ramus has unique features designed specifically for enterprise critical communications. Some of these features include security hardening, device prioritization, easy-to-use dashboard, integration to business-critical applications, the flexibility to be deployed locally or in high-availability data centers, the ability to be able to start small for trials and proof of concepts and scale up into large campus or multi-site environments. We've done an awful lot with very little spectrum over the years, as you will see shortly in some early use cases in the UK in Band 3. There has never been a better time for UK private cellular networks, with the spectrum frequencies Ofcom have made available. For 4G LTE, you have Band 3, 1.8 gig, Band 40, 2.3 gig, and for 5G, we now have 3.8 and 4.2 gigahertz available for use. Also, where public mobile operators are not using Band 38, 2.6 gig, you can apply to Ofcom for access. All these frequencies are available for UK businesses to access and innovate with. Here you can see the different bands Ofcom have proposed for private networks, which include the bands on the previous slide as well as the lower 26 gig band. For rural, Band 3 is proposed and Band 40 in certain locations. Challenges facing UK businesses when endeavouring to deliver critical applications are numerous. From over 300 global companies interviewed recently that are planning to switch to 4G or 5G private networks to address the critical connectivity needs in their businesses, over 40% of them cited security as the biggest driver for them to change. Over 20% of them identified the need to support large-scale IoT systems and drive efficiency improvements, and almost 14% of them felt they needed to address productivity and connectivity challenges. One of the key challenges in delivering business and mission-critical use cases is being able to provide a guaranteed quality of service to the devices and the applications that need it, avoiding interference from other less important applications and devices, eating up valuable data on the network. We've developed the concept at Druid of enterprise slicing in our 4G and 5G platforms. Devices that need priority can be easily grouped and assigned to the gold slice on the network. For example, in a hospital, critical doctors and nurses' devices would be on the gold network, whereas HR or maintenance staff could be on silver or bronze. In industry, the business critical IoT devices could be on the gold networks, for example. The need to be flexible in deployment options is also very important. Being able to deploy our private network applications on common off-the-shelf hardware further drives adoption and innovation for on-premise deployments, right up to high availability data centers, or the latest Microsoft Edge Azure or Amazon AWS environments. Let's take a look at some of the many use cases in the UK and around the world where private networks are delivering critical enterprise applications. We've noticed over the years that use cases for private networks tend to fit into two overall categories of either business or mission critical. Business critical use cases are those where there is a financial impact if there is any disruption to communication or data services. Here we show examples of IoT, hospitality, industry, and fixed wireless access. Any disruption to communication or data services in mission-critical scenarios, on the other hand, can mean health and safety issues or potential life-threatening situations. Here we have examples of blue light, public safety, and healthcare. Let's start with this manufacturing plant in the northeast of England with Pectron, one of the largest privately owned manufacturers in the world. They have evolved into a significant global force as an electronics design, development, and manufacturing partner for some of the world's most recognizable brands. They've been using the public network and also legacy DECT technology for years. The extensive manufacturing facilities range over multiple sites and had many coverage black spots, which impacted on staff communications and efficiencies. They found it impossible to solve this with shortwave DECT coverage or Wi-Fi. Our private cellular network works in harmony with Wi-Fi across this manufacturing campus. We have many examples of these 24/7, 365 networks across the UK, where the private network provides dedicated voice, messaging, and data on a separate cellular network to Wi-Fi, improving latency, security, and scalability, while at the same time decongesting the overburdened Wi-Fi network. We've been deployed in many hotels across the UK to improve staff mobile communications. In hotel environments, the guests put a lot of pressure on the Wi-Fi network with data streaming for work and entertainment. As a result, hotel staff communications are not stable or reliable over these overburdened networks. The private cellular network is deployed easily in these environments, with cellular base stations having a major coverage advantage over Wi-Fi access points. You could cover a typical hotel easily with 6 to 8 cells and integrate with the property management systems. This mobile vehicle solution for one of the UK fire services is a great example of mission-critical private networks. It also highlights the rich ecosystem of devices available and the increased health and safety aspects of the technology. Aerial drones provide high-definition footage of the incident from the air, providing commanders with real-time video and audio to make decisions. In this example, care provider Inspired Villages wanted to deploy the best mobile technology available and deliver dedicated communications to the entire staff that integrated with the latest nurse call systems. They selected one of the UK industry leaders in elderly care technology, Eclipse Nurse Call Systems. ENS also helped management to provide the residents of the assisted living homes with a device that linked directly into the private network. This gave the residents freedom to leave the facility, but at the same time be part of the village private network communication systems. These care facilities are often located in more rural areas or on the outskirts of towns. With IP access base stations, the private cellular network helps to remove typical public mobile coverage black spots and ensures dedicated coverage and capacity where and when it's needed. The OpenSIP provides full integration of the mobile handset to the enterprise PABX, turning each mobile device into a SIP extension. Our REST API provides integration to the latest nurse call alarm technology, leveraging the capabilities of the ubiquitous smartphone and Pebble device to improve patient outcomes and residents' standard of living. This innovative care campus is the ideal location for Dutch healthcare specialists, AVICs, to deliver the latest Druid and Corning private 4G network technology, which enhances the lives of the residents and provides dedicated secure data for their Connect and Care IoT devices. This new technology ensures a better night's sleep for residents, less false alarms, and more job satisfaction for healthcare workers. The smart optical sensor IoT device, which is seamlessly integrated with the private 4G network, provides insight into how a resident is doing 24/7. The SOS is always tailor-made to the resident. They can be adjusted based on his or her wishes and needs. For example, if a resident leaves his bed, is restless, or goes to the toilet, the smart optical sensor automatically gives a signal to the carer's smartphone. RF Connect, a national leader of cellular-based wireless solutions, has deployed one of the first private 4G networks at Memorial Hospital Healthcare in the US to provide temporary connectivity to support doctors and nursing staff who are delivering emergency patient care during the COVID-19 response. These networks can be set up quickly and include the highest mobile security measures required for healthcare networks. Our private network platform has been used by partners in some of the largest state-of-the-art hospitals in Europe, delivering the latest nurse call technology to crash teams and key healthcare staff. The hospital management needed to move towards cellular technology to meet its communication needs and move away from end-of-life paging systems that were very costly to maintain. Druid's private cellular network delivers over 10 million calls a year over a dedicated resilient cellular communication service to thousands of medical staff at the Sala campus. As green energy and wind farms grow across the UK, the need for data connectivity in these remote, often onshore locations is critical for maintenance and health and safety use cases. Our partner EBO Enterprises show here how they deliver secure communications, collaboration, and tracking services so that their customers can operate efficiently and safely at sea. EBO's customer now operates and manages their offshore wind farms in a safe and cost-effective way, achieving maximum uptime for production. We are delivering private networks not just offshore for oil and gas platforms and wind farms. Onshore, these emerging applications are critical to communications in manufacturing, industrial plants, shipping, transport, and mining. The demand for cellular in these use cases is strong. There is often lots of steel, and it makes a lot of sense to use long-range, more scalable coverage solutions like 4G in harmony with Wi-Fi, which are used more like hotspots to provide mobile data across the complete domain. With 4G fixed-point body-worn cameras, engineers Engineers can communicate with 4G fixed point and body-worn cameras. Engineers can communicate now with smart maintenance room locations, where they are assisted in real time on how to maintain or fix problems to critical systems and machines. Saving up to 4 days in the example of the oil and gas platform, where specialist engineers would have to have flown out to the rig at the other side of the world in the past, they now fix these problems in minutes. ASTA0, which stands for Active Safety Test Area, and Zero, which refers to the Swedish Parliament's vision for road safety with 0 dead and seriously injured in traffic. This deployment is in Sandholt, southern Sweden, and is the world's first full-scale test environment for future road safety. They needed a network solution with extensive coverage for their test environment. Because of the critical nature of the driverless car applications, the network performance required a specific low latency. After an extensive evaluation phase, ASTA0 selected Druid's core solution as the best technology to suit its needs with Ericsson base stations. Smart mining is another interesting use case. Our partners MST Global specialize in mining and tunneling technology that empowers mining companies to unearth safety and productivity improvements. MST have some great solutions for vehicle telemetry, vehicle diagnostics, integration location tracking, and proximity awareness. And they are leveraging 4G and 5G technology to drive further innovation in this sector. This port automation solution at European container terminals is a real-time industrial application, handling containers coming from inbound vessels for storage and transportation. This innovation has made the port environment highly productive with predictive unloading times. One of the most important business-critical problems it solves is in the avoidance of financial penalties. Delays can easily run into the millions of euros for any knock-on effect for the next vessels arriving on schedule. Our partners, Koning & Hartmann, one of the market-leading integrators in the Benelux region, have done an excellent job deploying our Aramis core as an IoT platform with airspan base stations. They secured a license from the Dutch regulator for band 43, 3.6 gig dedicated cellular spectrum for this project. We see other interesting use cases developing in the port area, like drones for maintenance. The drones can easily reach where people can't, and it makes it easy to inspect hard-to-reach areas. The drones also provide really good aerial footage and visibility to the port area for health and safety, which is complementary to the 4G fixed-point cameras that are available in the ecosystem. We also see how drones are being used to quickly deliver hardware components to vessels near port for speed and efficiency. Continuing the journey of the digital container from port to sea to final destination, we have been deployed as the critical maritime communication system on many transport vessels. The IoT telemetry systems our platform supports can save millions in wastage by picking up on any drop in temperatures of high-value cargo, ensuring it's in optimum condition on arrival. Crew also enjoy health and safety benefits by being able to monitor containers on indoor dashboards, saving them from going out on deck in rough weather and storms. The private network provides 100% wireless coverage on the vessels, including bridge and cargo holds above and below deck. This gives the crew real-time remote visibility of assets at sea and up-to-date condition alerts from the vessel on board and on shore. The private network also drives efficiencies by enabling the crew to respond much faster. Crew members receive text alarm notifications anywhere on the vessel now to their mobile devices. This helps to reduce cargo spoilage and insurance claims at sea by responding faster to container alarms. This also helps to eliminate scheduled manual reefer inspections at sea, potentially reducing crew hours dedicated to cargo monitoring. This deployment at the American Dream Entertainment and Retail Complex in East Rutherford, New Jersey, was one of the first case studies announced with commercial launch of 4G and 5G spectrum in the United States in September 2019. This state-of-the-art 3 million square foot entertainment venue combines an ice skating rink and Nickelodeon amusement park. The theme park contains more than 35 rides and attractions, including 3 roller coasters. The private network is used in this environment to track shopping trolleys, monitor telemetry, maintenance on the elevators. It is also used for coverage in the wide outdoor car park areas for the digital signage. ANS, or Advanced Network Services, were key to the selection, installation, integration, and operation of the private network. They worked with device partners to complete the private network solution, including Federated Wireless, Spectrum Access System Controller. Geoverse deployed Druid's enhanced packet core, private 4G network, and Cradlepoint provided their NetCloud service and gigabit class LTE edge router with CBRS support. Post-COVID, many households below average income thresholds don't have broadband access. This is a real urgency now for students to have connectivity at home during the pandemic. Using new Ofcom spectrum for fixed wireless access deployments provides a rapid broadband connectivity rollout to address this critical need. In the US, we see multiple school districts, universities, urban and rural areas in Texas, Florida, and Georgia already deploying Druid's 4G network specifically for the rapid provision of data broadband. And thank you for joining me for this webinar on delivering critical enterprise applications with 5G and 4G private networks. I hope the examples have given you food for thought on what you can do with available spectrum in the UK and how to solve critical communication problems in your business. I look forward to whatever questions you might have.
Thanks, Tadhg.
Okay, thank you. So I think it's over to Ken for any questions. So I'm just looking through the chat stream. Can't see any in there yet, but no, some really great use cases there of use of 4G and 5G. I've just seen a news announcement that NASA have awarded a contract to install a 4G network on the moon. So
I want to do the site survey up there.
So it must be good if it's also being done on the moon, eh?
Yeah. But no, 5G is a big thing for us at the moment, Jonathan. We've actually we launched a 5G standalone product there last June, well ahead of the posse. So we see this as a real growth area for us on the 5G side. The only problem we have at the moment with the 5G side is the lack of radios. There's not a huge amount of choice for radios at the moment. There's one particular vendor which begins with a H, which a lot of companies and countries are not allowed to use. So we did quite a bit of testing on that. But I think probably by the first quarter of next year, we're going to see a lot of radios on the market where we can actually start really deploying commercial 5G solutions.
It's certainly the available bandwidth is changing dramatically, isn't it? It's what do you think the impact will be on fixed networks moving forward with the growth in the availability of 5G?
I think you're going to see huge growth in that area. I mean, obviously you're going to get a lot more bandwidth, a lot more latency, and you've got a lot of the regulators are now starting up to open up a lot of bandwidth for us for private cellular networks. I mean, obviously Ofcom in the UK opened up there about a year ago. But just right across Europe now, we're seeing more and more spectrum becoming available for private cellular networks. And obviously then with CBRS or ongoing in the US, the US is a huge, huge market for us. And we're seeing phenomenal growth in the US, particularly on the broadband and the fixed wireless access side, because obviously I think about 57% of the people in the States have got access to broadband, the rest don't. So that's a huge, huge growth area for us there as well.
And certainly we've seen, historically working together, this can be a very good alternative to DECT or Wi-Fi solutions to actually create a private cellular network for customers. And again, it depends upon the environment that you're deploying the technology to. This can become a very economic way of connecting people on the move.
Yeah, no, and as Tadhg mentioned in the presentation, I mean, we have deployed in environments where it's not mission critical or business critical, but most of our success is in sort of mission critical or business critical communications where you have to have reliable systems up 100% of the time.
Yeah, and I think again there's going to be probably an acceleration of growth in line with IoT sensors and connected devices and the need to manage estate and notifications essentially. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I mean IoT is a big growth area for us as well. I mean there was a few areas or a few case studies there with particularly the container tracking, where we're using a lot of IoT devices to monitor refrigerated containers while at sea.
Okay, brilliant. Very interesting. So unless there's any more questions, we'll just give it a couple of minutes just to see if there's any coming in. Yeah, great insight and very impressive technology.
Thank you.